action, huh? It's haunted as shit, though. This place is fucking haunted.
Ooh, tell us.
If I told you what I know, they would never have me back. But I have been thrown out of this bar maybe a handful of times. So it wouldn't be the first time they kicks me out, and it might not be the last. But we used to have access to the tunnel in the back. There's like this secret tunnel back there. It's really, really cool. And depending on how much acid you've taken, you may or may not be tempted to go into the underground tunnels with a lighter by yourself. My boots were all muddy. I was just crazy. Oh, yeah, this is great. And then I just got a heavy Asian, persecuted Chinese miner vibe. And I was like, I'm Irish, I was persecuted here too. They're like, that's not good enough. I was like, it was the fucking English, man, I swear. The Chinese guy was like, yeah, it pretty much was. I have nothing against, are there English people here? I have nothing against English people. I just like to see them defeated in things like sports and war. You know. Tommy Tiernan. But, yeah. Oh, we had a lady that used to run this place. Her name was Nico Wu, and she was a Chinese woman. And as far as I'm concerned, she was holding the angry Asian minor persecution vibes at bay. She was a good gatekeeper, in my opinion. Patron of the arts. Wonderful woman. They drove her out of town for having events here. And as soon as they did, I said, some bad shit's gonna go down. And as soon as they left, the fucking parking lot imploded. Sucked it down. And I was like, see what you get for fucking with the Asian miners? Leave that Chinese woman in charge. You know what I mean? But when I left that tunnel, I always wondered, did I bring an angry Asian spirit with me? And I asked a psychic to come to my house because I was hearing voices. And she said, you do have a spirit here. I said, are they sitting on that couch? And she said, yes, they are. I said, is it kind of like an angry Asian grandmother? She said, yeah, that's what I'm getting. And I was like, I knew it. She's like, how did you know? And I said, because all week, all I've been hearing over and over is, why you so poor? Why you not married? Why you disgrace family like this? So, just leave him in the tunnel. Don't fuck with him. Oh, God. Yeah, but we have a great little town here, don't we? Yeah. They're doing a lot of construction. Did you see they're putting a new exit? It's called the Spiritual Bypass. New exit into Nevada City. Yeah. It's appropriate. Gotta love it. I have a new girlfriend. She's new to town. She's not from here, and she's trying to fit in. God bless her. She's doing the best she can. She got that wicker basket, you know. You gotta have that. If you don't have that, you gotta get it. Did you bring your bag? I brought my basket. Yeah, and yeah, she's got a lot of fun ideas. She goes to these workshops and she comes back and she's like, what was one of the things? She wanted to do his and her enemas. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. She hands me a box, and on the box was written, coffee enema crappuccino. I was like, no way. But she finally says to me, Frappuccino. She says, look, I got something to tell you. I came back from a retreat and I want to be celibate. And I said, I want to support you. I'll buy a bit. Oh, that was good fun. Next week, it was kinky. It was like hooking up with a spiritual prostitute or something. It was, yeah. But, next time we're going to play around with our diets. Yeah, food fun. But the food, speaking of food, we got a great noodle shop in town. Have you been there? What'd you call it? The Annex. Do you work there?
Yeah.
Right on.
Please come.
Represent. A lot of them work there. Okay.
The first and second row works there.
Well, I want to say that the people who work there are very nice. The food is great. But everybody keeps talking about it. Like, you know how people take pictures of their food and they're like foodies and they're like tripping over themselves? Well, if one more person says to me, "Have you tried the pho?" I'm gonna lose my mind. Have you tried the pho? Have you tried the pho? I was like, "Have you tried the barbecue pho? It's called fuck you. Now leave me alone. Just want to go about my business." I always wanted to be an actor or a musician, so I became a DJ. That way, I could act like I was a musician. Yep. So when I was a little boy, I really wanted a leather jacket, but my parents told me that only bad kids had leather jackets, and they wouldn't let me. And so it was just like a wish of mine, you know, like a dream. And God, I really wanted one, you know. And so the other day I was in North San Juan, I was at a biker bar, and they had like leather jackets for the dads. And then I saw the little boy's leather jacket for the little kids riding along. And I said to my girlfriend, I was like, "That's the jacket I always wanted." She said, "Well, that's too small for you. Would you like to see the jacket?" Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
This jacket that I always wanted. And I said, "That's the jacket of my dreams. Can I get a little da-da-da-da-da?" That's a boy's dream come true right there. Thank you. Well, thank you. Tell that to my 5-year-old self. No, but I'm getting older. My red hair is turning from red. It's in a lot of transition. It's going from red to white. So officially, I am trans ginger. That is a fact. But I'm not fucking around with younger women anymore. Are there any young couples in love here? Okay. Well, yeah, you know, because just, I kind of aged out of my scene, you know? Like, I would be at the parties and, like, wasn't, like, getting the attention that I would have liked, and I was going further back towards the wall, so finally I was like, I'm never gonna get laid at one of these things. I should just go home and get some rest. It sounds better than fucking standing against the wall. But now I've realized that like younger women, they're figuring it out. God bless them, but they'll destroy you. You know, like woman going through her Saturn return will burn you to the fucking ground. Yeah. To the ground. You know, you'll be hiding behind your couch. Your friends will come over and be like, "Dude, are you okay?" You're like, "Oh, I thought you were her." You don't look good. You're like, "You don't know what she's like." I've been there, man. I've been there. But now, I just want to say on the record, older women are fucking hot. Yeah, and it's safe to date an older woman because it's like they've already they're like apex predators, you know? It's like dating an older woman is like swimming with a great white shark, you know? They've already gorged on a few seals, you know, it's safe now, you know? The feeding frenzy is over. But I have a new saying, if it ain't great, I won't lay. And that is actually a good motto. Yeah, so, you know, living in a little hippie town, we all know the 4 agreements, right? Right, of course, right? I bet you don't know more than 2 or 3. Okay, ma'am, are you? Okay, right. Exactly. So everybody's like, yes, we know them, but if I were to ask you, let's just skip over that part, but usually you can't name all 4. It's like, there's only 4. So, what about the 5 love languages? Do you like that one? I like this one. The 5 love languages, let's call them out. Touch. Quality time. Acts of service. Words of affirmation and gifts. Round of applause. 5 love languages. I love that one. And when you figure out what your partner's love language is and what yours is and which one you give, which one you receive, it actually makes a lot of sense. Am I right?
Yeah.
Or am I right?
Yeah.
But you're never really just one, right? You're never really just touch. Have you ever taken that test online? You're kind of a mix of all of them, right? So my girlfriend says, I know which one you like to give and receive. You're a mix of them. I said, really, what is it? She said, you like quality acts of oral service. Oh, yeah, I've been storing that one up for a while. But, you know, I've learned in relationships that being right will get you nowhere, especially as a man, right? Just once I gave up the need to be right, like I was more like I don't need to make somebody wrong, you know? And so that was a huge blessing for me. Like fellas, would you agree? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Ladies, am I right or never mind? Never mind. It's always wrong. Jesus. Oh, I love that setup. Well, the war is not funny, right? That's not funny. I don't really have any material about that, so you're in luck. But as a comedian, I keep wondering, what is the river in Crimea actually called? But let's just move on. So, let's go back to the pandemic, right? Let's go back to the pandemic. That seemed to be over as soon as the war started, but for a while, everybody was freaking out about Omicron and Delta, and there's just some conspiracy theories and all sorts of stuff going on. And really, I don't know what to believe anymore because there seems to be crazy science on both sides. But a few of my friends were freaking out because Omicron Delta, if you scramble the letters of the words, right, you get media control. And if you scramble the words of Omicron, you get moronic. And I thought to myself, all right, well, that is a little weird, you know. Fair enough. But what really kind of freaked me out was if you scramble the letters of Omicron Delta, you get condom leader and romantic load, which I think somehow are correlated. It's bizarre, but it makes sense. But what really got me fucking very paranoid was when if you scramble the letters of Omicron Delta, do it in your head, you get erotic almond. And I thought to myself, how did they know about that? There's only 2 people in this world who know about that. The parental figure who drove me to the hospital, and the pediatric proctologist, who after it was all over said, "You're all right, son, here's a lollipop. Now that goes in your mouth," is what he said. But, you know, they say if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family, but my mom, she still, you know, picks on me over that experience. Like, just the other year, I was opening some Christmas presents, and she was killing herself laughing. And I opened up the box, and it was a packet of chocolate almonds. And everybody's like, what's so funny about that? I'm like, nothing. There's nothing funny about that. Let's just keep moving. But, yeah. Dyslexia. I'm dyslexic. Any dyslexics here?
Woo!
Fuck yeah. Yeah, and the word dyslexia, it's cruel, right? Like, for people who have trouble with difficult words, like, dyslexia is really hard to fucking spell. Fuck them. They must have been English, that fucking thing. We're English, those English bastards. But imagine this. If you have a fear of extremely long words, the word that describes that is the fucked. Do you know it?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Hippo? Like, okay, hippos are the scariest animals on the planet. They kill more people, right? Now imagine monstrous hippos, right? Now the word for fear of long words is hippomonstrosoquipedalophobia. Imagine being diagnosed that and then just like having... But before I go, I wanted to tell you about me as a little boy. Hooray. When I was a little boy, now I'm talking like barely could talk, all right? So I was fairly innocent, but you know, I had some thoughts. My auntie came to visit us from Ireland, and she was like Joan Jett. She was a head turner. She was a beautiful young lady. She was probably about 19. And everybody would kind of just like, whoo, who's that, you know? Including my little 3-4-year-old self. And I had a crush on my aunt, Deirdre. And I had to let her know before she went back to Ireland. It was like burning inside of me. And I told her, and I'd always hoped that she had forgot that moment. You know, as the years went by, and I was like, there's no way she remembers that, right? Anyways, I'm in Ireland, and I'm sitting next to my Auntie Deirdre at Christmas, and she turns to me and she says, "You remember what you said to me when you were a little boy?" And I said, and I denied it. To this day, I denied it. I said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." She said, "I think you do remember." "Ach, you do." Ach. I said, ach, you do, don't you? And I said, "No, I have no idea." She said, "I'll tell you what you said. I was giving you a bath, right? And you looked up at me and you said, 'Auntie Deirdre, I like you.' And sure, I looked up at you and said, yeah, down at you and said, 'Sure, I like you too.' And you looked up at me and said, 'No, but Auntie Deirdre, I like you more than I should.'" And I wrote a little song about it, and it goes something like this. In 1900 and... all Irish songs start like this. In 1983, when I was just a wee baby, on a plane in from Ireland with a box of crunchies, Auntie Deirdre came to stay with our family. She was the first auntie I'd ever seen, with her hair raven black and her eyes emerald green. And her and my sisters would do dance routines in her Rick Springfield shirt and her skirt made of jean. She was the sister of my own dad, and I hopped on her lap every chance that I had. And once while toweling me down from a bath, I professed the feelings inside that I had. I said, "I like you, Deirdre." She said, "I like you too." "No, but I like you more than the rest of us do." And she wrapped that towel around my head like a hood, and looked at me and said, "Deirdre, I like you more than I should." Oh, Auntie Deirdre, Auntie Deirdre, is it weird that I wanted to be near you? I had a feeling so strong. Wish they hadn't gonna tell me I was wrong. Auntie Deirdre, I just wanted to be near you. Then in 1998, while sitting around a Christmas dinner plate, they sat me by Deirdre, and I went deep red. When she leaned in and whispered, and here's what she said. "They remember what you said when you were a wee boy, Auntie Deirdre, I don't, I swear. Ach, you do, you remember what you said, Auntie Deirdre, I don't have a clue. Ach, you do, 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 ach, you do. Auntie Deirdre, Auntie Deirdre, is it weird that I wanted to be near you? I had a feeling so strong. Wish they hadn't gonna tell me I was wrong. Auntie Deirdre, I just wanted to be near you. Oh, I would stand behind the couch just to peep right down your blouse. So Auntie Deirdre, I just wanted to be near you.